Hello YouTube, hello friends and family. It is ArmedCivy back again with another review, and today we're going to be looking at the Kel-Tec PF9. I would like to start off by saying that I have been carrying this gun for approximately a year and a half. I've got a lot of experience shooting this as well. Over the course of me owning this firearm, I've shot probably about 650 rounds of both full metal jacket and hollow points. I've really enjoyed this gun. It has been just a fantastic companion to carry along with me on a daily basis. Yes, I have upgraded a little bit to, as you saw before, the SD9, but it's kind of wintertime, and so a little bit heavier carry now is okay for me. I don't know when I'm going to transition back to this as far as summer is concerned, but warmer weather is coming, so I can only imagine that this will start to reemerge in my everyday carry. Excuse me, I have been sick this week, which has been preventing me from doing any videos, so I'm trying to get back into the swing of it here. So let's go ahead and get into this. As I said, this is the Kel-Tec PF9, and I'm going to do what's called, or what I'm going to call a slice of life with this. And what I mean by that is if you just take any given day, what is this gun going to be doing? Is it going to be in your home, in your safe, or on your person? And I would say that on any given day, depending on the weather, and of course, like I said, I've upgraded for now, I would say that this is going to be on your person. This is a fantastic concealed carry weapon. I mean, I would hold this bar none to any other 9mm handgun out there right now, currently. And especially when we consider price, which I'll talk about at later point. And so this is going to be on your person. And you probably won't even notice it once you have it on you, strapped in and walking around. You're probably going to forget all about having this gun. And here are some specifications to give you an idea of what you're going to be dealing with. As I said before, this is a 9mm. Weight unloaded with the magazine in is 12.7 ounces. Okay, that's amazing. A 9mm pistol weighing 12.7 ounces is just amazing to me. Currently, as of 2012, there is nothing that compares as far as weight is concerned with this gun. Okay, it's the champ. Okay, for now. Things always change, and we know that. Length overall, oh, I've knocked my camera, is 5.85 inches. And that is really pleasant. It makes it to where it's very simple to conceal that. Excuse me. And height is 4.3 inches. Let's see, width, which is the most important dimension, and this thing is a big win as well in that respect, is 0.88 inches thick. Alright, that is just absolutely amazing. Yes, this is a single stack magazine, but it does hold 7 rounds in the magazine plus 1. Okay, so you really aren't doing too bad as far as capacity is concerned in a gun this size. In fact, I'd say you're doing really good. Let's see if I can set that back up. And I'll just go ahead and say now, the weight of the trigger pull is approximately 5 pounds from the factory, and I'll do a demonstration of that here. Yes, of course, this is a safety checked weapon. Alright, so I'll do a demonstration of that a little bit later on. So let's get right into reliability and accuracy. There is something to be said about the reliability on this particular gun. Kel-Tec has a forum, KTOG, K-T-O-G, Kel-Tec Owners Group is what it stands for. If you want to get a lot of info about the PF9 or any Kel-Tec gun, I would suggest that you go ahead and hop on that forum and start rooting around and see, digging out some info, because there's a bunch of it out there for this gun in particular. And I've actually posted some information on that before as well. So let's talk about reliability. This has been hit on in a negative way as far as reliability is concerned, and I think the earlier versions of it, in particular, were more apt to having stoppages of all different kinds. But man, with this current version, and I read that if you find one that has the magazine release that is metal, then you have the current up-to-date version, and you should have no issues, as I have not had very many issues. When I first took this gun out to break in, and there is like 150 round break-in period that is suggested, and I would definitely say do that, if not more. And the first day I took it out, I used this ammo, and this is from Norinco, made in China. And if you hear me talking about old surplus ammo, this is the stuff I'm talking about. Okay, this is just old and junky. I mean, like I said, my dad hooked me up with this stuff, and I'll shoot it, don't get me wrong, but I'm just shooting this stuff at the range. And so the first time out, I used this stuff to break it in, and I shouldn't have. I should have used the PMC ammo that I had picked up, because I had a huge failure. Huge failure. The primer, I don't know if it exploded or what happened, but it came out of the cartridge, and the cartridge got stuck in the chamber, and I could not rack that slide back. And so it was totally locked up. I seriously thought I was going to have to send it in and have them take it apart, or I don't know what. So that was, I think, like my fourth shot out of the first magazine, and man, I was super pissed. So I ended up having to take it apart from these pins. I took these out and took the whole assembly up and out, and basically disassembled it from the bottom up. And I finally got it out of there, and then I took it back the next range time I went out, and I used only the PMC ammo, which I'm not saying PMC is like the end-all be-all, because it's really just kind of bulk target ammo, but it's nicer than this stuff. And I had no problems. I mean, it was shooting 100% with the PMC, and I shot like 450 rounds that day in a very short amount of time, because I didn't have much time that day, and I was just trying to run it through its paces, breaking it in first of all, but also making sure it's going to be reliable for me, because I did plan on carrying this gun, and I still do. So yes, it is reliable. Okay, and I do want to make a point of that, because I think a lot of times people get scared of Kel-Tec guns, especially this one, because they don't think it's going to be reliable for them, and it's been nothing but, except for shooting stuff like this. Okay, so there's that for reliability. And the magazines have been great too. I've been really happy with the magazines. I haven't had any problems with them. So let's move on to accuracy. I was actually really surprised with how accurate this gun is. You do have to get used to the trigger pull, which I'll talk about in the next little piece. But once you get used to that, and once you learn how to operate it, you are going to be really happy with its accuracy. I mean, this is not going to be like some competition speed shooting kind of gun or anything, but you will be very surprised. I don't know if I'm going to roll in some pictures of any of my accuracy shooting in this video, or if I'm going to do what I'm calling like a hero video, where I show just shooting of this gun. I'll probably just do a separate video, a little hero video of the shooting and the accuracy, and I'll make that up and just kind of post that separately. So I may just go ahead and leave that for now. But I will say that it is very accurate. I've been really happy with its accuracy at the distances that I shoot with this, which is just 5 to 7 yards, because I really don't plan on shooting any further distance with this particular gun. You definitely could, but I just don't plan on it. So that's the distances that I practice with this, about 7 yards, and I was really happy with its accuracy. Okay, so let's move on to ergonomics real quick. This is a subcompact gun. So if you're not comfortable with smaller guns, and like I've told in the last review of that SD9, I do have large hands, but you know what? I found that in the use of this particular gun, I will just put my 2 fingers here and kind of wrap that pinky around and under, and that gives me a really good purchase. And I would have been really surprised when I first picked this gun up. No, I haven't heard anyone really talk about this, but it has these little ridges right on the front straps, okay? And there's 2 of them, or I guess 3, and they are not so sharp to the point that they hurt, but they're sharp enough to where they really dig into your hand perfectly, and that locks your fingers in there and your grip in the palm really nicely. And yeah, this blocky checker kind of gripping texture on the side helps as well. So I've been really happy with that. Once again, and this gun has suffered from the same criticism as the SD9 that I reviewed, in saying that people can actuate that magazine catch during the firing sequence. And once again, I have not had that problem. So maybe it's just how people are holding their gun nowadays, or not nowadays, but maybe they're just having problems or holding their gun like this or something like that. But no, not one time have I actuated that button while I'm shooting, so I haven't had a problem with that. In fact, I've been really happy with how easy it is to control this gun, even though it is very lightweight and shoots a 9mm, which, yeah, 9mm kind of known for its ease of shooting, but when you're talking about 12.7 ounces, it does have kick, and you will see that and you'll feel that. But you know, it's manageable, and you'll get used to it after a little bit of shooting. So let's go ahead and talk about the trigger now. I'm going to take this magazine out and put my snap cap in, and so I can give you a little show and tell. So we'll go ahead and rack that in. As you can see, it's just a snap cap, so and this is pointed in a safe direction. So this is a long double action only trigger pull, and you'll really have to learn how to manipulate that to get effective accuracy. So what I do and what I've read is to stage the trigger. And all that's meant by that is to take up about 3/4 of the trigger and quickly, you know, and then take your time with the last little bit there. And you'll find that it does break smoothly, and it actually is a very smooth trigger. Oh yeah, and it feels good. And as far as reset's concerned, let's go ahead and show that. Reset is long all the way back. Okay, you got to pretty much let this thing go all the way back to reset that. So I'll be quiet and let you kind of hear. You'll hear 2 clicks. So from reset, here we go. Right there. So then you reset, and then out to the end. So a very short very long reset. But as it is no safety levers and a double action only gun, it's kind of expected. So no, you're not getting the sweetest trigger in the world, but I gotta tell you, I've played around with that Ruger LCP. Is that? No, LC9. That's the one. That's kind of comparable to this, and I held both of them in my hands the day I bought this gun, and I decided to go with this one. Not only because of the reviews I've seen in the past, but just because of the way it felt in my hand and all the things that I knew about it already. And the trigger, I did get to test out both of these triggers before I bought, and I gotta tell you, the trigger on this one, to me, is so much nicer than that Ruger, which is really surprising because I've been a Ruger fan for a long time, and I do have a Ruger LCP, which I'll do a review on some other time. But the trigger in this is so much better than that LC9. So let's go ahead and pause here. I'll do a part 2, and we'll see you then.